up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener!
Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
And what up, though, people? It's Wake Up Woodward. Woo! Hey, you know what, bro? I had to wear the Cobra Kai shirt today.
Oh,
after
yeah.
You made the reference yesterday.
Oh,
hey,
yes.
Thank you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the Wake Up Woodward crew. It's your boy Brandon there, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential business reporter and writer for the network. And that right there is the vet of the network, Flannel Sam. What up, though, brother?
Hey, speaking of Cobra Kai, Johnny Lawrence is the good guy and Daniel LaRusso is the bad guy. Always has been, always will be.
Hey, you know what, man? Let's get everybody else introduced, man. I know JB Smooth, he is on the way by accident on the highway. He wasn't involved, but he is stuck in traffic. Whoever was involved, hope everybody's okay. Shout out to Broder as well. Still waiting for him to get a little bit better so he can join us back in studio. We miss you. We love you, brother. Get well soon. But we do got intern Chase in the building. And in the sound booth, Detroit's #1 draft pick. That is KG.
What up?
AKA Black Hollywood. What up, though, bro?
Hey, chillin', man. We got a lot of news yesterday, man. The Ceedee Lamb extension, Malik Willis to the Packers, huh? What is going on? This bizarro world right now, man.
I don't know, man. That one, I still don't really know what to think about that one. I want to check in with Mass.
In 2 years, we don't have to worry about Malik Willis.
He's the president of that fan club. But shout out to that dude, Justin, holding it down for now in the TD booth. What up, though, brother?
Hey, the studio, home sweet home.
When's the last time you set foot in this studio, Justin?
Oh, my God. I think it was Thursday or Wednesday last week. I'm so glad to be back in the studio. I was a little tired of those remotes, I can't lie.
Yeah, hey, you know what, man? Golf season, the remote season, it can get to you a little bit. It is a grind, but it definitely, it kind of, it tests our mettle, shows us where we are, and I'm proud of what we did, man. There was a lot of good content that we got. There was a lot of cool interactions. I was actually looking back, and we're going to try and get this montage done before Lions season, but there's a lot more people that we've talked to, like just and interviewed and engaged with in terms of the athletes, the level of athletes, the level of celebrities this summer than any other summer that Woodward Sports has been a network, like as a collective. So it's awesome to see the network growing, seeing the type of content that we're able to bring, and hopefully we continue to on in that trend.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've done so many golf events, but we have our amazing sponsors, particularly Randy Wise, Feldman, and getting to meet a lot of people that we otherwise would not have. And I got this really crispy polo out of it. And a lot of people I see you in the chat being like, he's not wearing a flannel. Hey, I am representing Woodward Sports with this nice black flannel.
Talk your shit.
I'll tell you what. I might have to turn into polo, like polo flannel soon, because or Polo Sam, Jesus.
Polo Sam.
Do you have a middle name?
What's up?
Do you have a middle name?
Frederick.
Polo Frederick.
Polo Frederick?
That is my middle name.
Why does that go together?
Man,
it does.
You know what?
Polo Frederick.
There's something there. There's something there.
I was just gonna call him Big Musket. That's Big Musket over there, man.
And there we go.
Musket.
I love it. You know, Big Musket.
Musket.
Man. Well, you know what? I don't even know what to do about these Detroit Tigers. I don't know what to do with these guys, man.
Hey, Sam tried to warn you.
500.
Hey, you know what? Are we getting closer and closer to that place that you warned us of? If they get there, that you got some scenarios that you got to run by us?
Absolutely. They picked up 3 games in the last 3 days. And I know we have a whole segment dedicated to it to start the second hour. But if you're, I got to ask, though, this. I have to ask this to KG and Chuck Brewer in the chat.
What up?
Were these wins What's more meaningful? This 4-game sweep at Chicago or the sunflower seed shape spittle on the ground? What's more meaningful?
You being Polo Frederick right now. I need you to chill that out, man.
What's more meaningful? Because I was told that those wins mean nothing. Beating the Chicago White Sox is basically like beating the Toledo Mud Hens. Come on.
Never was said.
Hey, shout out to Woodward Sports' MVP in the booth on a Tuesday. That is JB Smooth. I had to think about the day real quick, bro, because we've been all over the place.
Man.
I don't even know what day it is right now as it is, but I'm just lucky I made it here too. Traffic is crazy. There's a bad accident on 696, so just be careful as it is, and I think it's about to rain even more. So, people are driving a little slower. So, just be careful out there.
Yeah. Usually, man, we got that sun that is beaming on us. It got Flannel Sam just absolutely glowing when he's talking about the Detroit Lions and the Chiefs. But this morning, it's just a little bit more overcast, but it's all right because we got the WUW Crew here. Yeah. Brother, we miss you, brother. We're going to hold it down. I know our chat family will, too. Go ahead and smash that like button. You want to tell people what we're going to be discussing today?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to be talking about a lot of Lions. Some moves were made. Most of them, I would say to this point aren't surprising, but they are telling. They might need a wide receiver, given one of the moves. And there's a couple names that have been floated around on our social media that we are going to discuss. We're going to discuss the Detroit Tigers. And if we get some time, we're going to discuss Michigan receiving the notice of allegations from the NCAA. But first, with layup lines. Ceedee Lamb just got paid. He signed a 4-year, $136 million deal with the Dallas Cowboys worth a $34 million AAV, which makes him the second highest paid receiver in the NFL in terms of AAV after one Justin Jefferson. And just for a little bit of reference, Ceedee Lamb's AAV is $34 million and Amon-Ra's is $30. So seems like a good deal for the Lions. But for the record, I think it's also a pretty good deal for the Cowboys. Got to give credit where credit's due.
A little bit. But I do wonder, though, how much, when these GMs are sitting down signing these deals, that they're sitting there going, daggone it, Brad. Damn, Brad. Because he's absolutely pushed the market in just one offseason.
Yeah.
At 3 different positions. That's wild to me. Your wide receiver, your quarterback, and in the tackle position on offensive line.
Sure.
That is amazing to me with players like Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff. Guys that are on, in my opinion, really good deals, especially when you talk about this team being a really good team.
100%. The Lions have been they've been trendsetters, at least this offseason, locking up all of their guys to deals that are pretty friendly. I would say all of us would agree that all of them are friendly-ish, some more friendly than others. Penei Sewell, I'm looking at you. But I will say this. I've given the Cowboys a lot of crap for not getting the deals locked in with their core guys, and they got it done with Ceedee Lamb. They need him if they're going to want to do anything in the future or this year. I'm not necessarily saying that they're a threat, but without Ceedee Lamb, you could see this thing completely torpedoing. And with him and with Dak at least being under contract this year, with Micah Parsons going into his 4th year, he'll definitely get his 5th-year option picked up.
Yeah,
they've at least got their core guys here for this season, but it would probably behoove them to lock in all of those guys because they actually do have they're pretty good. They have a pretty good cap situation going into the next couple seasons.
Yeah, it's like when you hear all the rumors about Dak Prescott and this rumored largest quarterback contract ever on the way. It's like, don't you have to lock in Ceedee Lamb? You got Ezekiel Elliott. You're talking about all the expectations that they have. We know what's coming out, at least from their camp, their media, and other people that cover them. It's going to be that the Dallas Cowboys, as currently constructed, are going to be a team competing for the playoffs and a team that might be able to compete at the top of this NFC. So it's like, if you believe that, you got to lock in your guys, especially when you got a person like Ceedee Lamb. He makes it very, very easy to make a decision on.
Yes, and Chuck Brewer in the chat. Sam, do they resign Dak or move on after this year? The thing, Dak Prescott, let me get this out of the way. There is no universe on Earth or any alternate universe in which Dak Prescott should be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. However, that's probably what's going to happen if they do re-sign Dak. So good luck to the Dallas Cowboys. The problem is that Ceedee Lamb is already locked in. I'm sure they gave him some promises that they would also lock in Dak Prescott, because whether you like them or not, they are a very good connection. And Dak Prescott is a very, very good regular season quarterback. He is. Without him, I think they have a potential to not be as good, not even be contenders, because when you go into the draft, you never know and who's going to be available in free agency. As Neil Rule often says, the Cowboys kind of have no choice.
Yep.
He's a good quarterback. He's just, I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl with him. I don't think anybody in this room does.
Yeah, and I want to be able to get JB's thoughts on this as well, but my question is not really what this does for the Cowboys this year, because it's currently constructed. I still have the Lions being a better team, but long-term, cap implications. You go and you lock up a Dak Prescott. To me, I'm wondering, are they just going to be sidelining themselves for the next 2 or 3 years? If they start throwing around all this money and you're depending on a quarterback that I don't know how dependable Dak Prescott is going to be over the next 2 or 3 years. You look at what happens in the playoffs, and that's what I mean by dependability. You know what you can get at the regular season. The guy's going to put up some numbers. He's going to get you some wins. But when the playoffs come around, is that the guy that you want to hitch your complete wagon to if you're the Cowboys?
Probably not, because remember that game where they scored 17 points at home to the 49ers and he ran out the clock? Remember that game where they scored 12 at San Francisco? And remember last year, and I know I got into an argument with our old intern Powerneck on that one, because Powerneck blames the defense for the Cowboys losing that game, and the defense was not good. However, Dak Prescott threw a pick six and another interception that set the Packers up with a 19-yard touchdown drive. The point is that has every single Cowboys loss in the playoffs been his fault? Absolutely not. But those last three, he has played a major role in that. And if he would have stepped up a little bit more, those were games that the Cowboys could have won.
JB Smooth, what up, though, man? Ceedee Lamb, Dallas Cowboys, any threat today or in the future?
I mean, for CD, yeah, this is nice for him. $34 million a year. I mean, that's a hell of a contract. Now you got all these other wide receivers probably going back to their agents complaining as it is right now. But if you're Dallas, how can you sit here and just throw around all this money back and forth, especially if you're paying a guy like CD and Dak at the same time? And also, who is Dak? I don't know who this Dak person you guys speak of. I know Dakota Rain Prescott. I know that person.
I'm not doing that.
Dakota. I'm calling Dakota.
You go ahead, JB, but I'm not a Neil bot. And I'm not saying you are, so I'm going to call him Dak.
I'm going to call him Dakota because his mama called him Dakota.
Right.
So,
don't take that from Polo Frederick.
Polo Freddy in the building.
Right, man.
Hey, but you know what, man? These GMs, dog, I'm telling you, they're sitting around getting unmasked right now and exposed. They all have to come up with the checkbook right now because of Brad Holmes. And it just reminds me of Scooby-Doo, man. I feel like they're ripping the mask off damn. They almost got away with it. If it wasn't for that pesky Brad Holmes.
Yeah. I almost got
right now.
Hey, and Ed O'Neill, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Do you pick Dak or Micah? I'd tank and draft a QB. I think you got to sign both. Yeah. You obviously have to sign Micah Parsons because he is an absolute game wrecker. He's better at his position than Dak is at his. It's just the problem is the fact that you signed Ceedee Lamb, the fact that they have some other talented pieces like a DeMarcus Lawrence, like a Deron Bland, who's going to be hurt to start the season anyway, like a Tyler Smith, Zach Martin, you can't really tank. You're not going to be so bad that you can tank and get a quarterback. I think you just got to lock up both and hope that you draft well moving forward. I think that's their only way. I really do.
Yeah, dysfunctional mess. A ticking time bomb.
Yep.
So I'm going to take one person to sit here and to just destroy this whole Dallas team. And honestly, that could be CD in a couple years if, things don't pan out well or things don't work out well.
Him and Dak really don't like each other, just being real, but,
Oh.
I'll hush up.
Is that another? No,
it ain't no other. That's known knowledge.
Because we're sitting here right now talking about what they're going to do with Dak Prescott. The rumors are if he gets that contract from them, he's going to be the highest paid quarterback.
If they want to stay afloat, they have to sign Dak. It just is what it is.
Feels like.
They handcuffed at this point.
Yep.
Jerry has handcuffed the Cowboys yet again.
That dude, Justin. Any comments on this? I know you got some comments.
I'm a D1 Dak hater. So
D1 Dak hater.
Division 1
D1 Dak hater.
I'm with Flannel here. They should have they need to commit to Micah, not with Dak. Micah is way better at his position than Dak is, and the CD contract. I mean, he is one of the best receivers in football. He's the safest fantasy draft pick this year, and he's a stud. So you had to do it.
Oh, yeah. And for the record, I think that the Cowboys should re-sign both. It's just that the Micah one is more prevalent, I would say, because on any given day, he's the best edge. I mean, he's in the conversation when you talk about the best edge rushers in the NFL. It's just that, as we keep saying, no matter how talented the roster is, no matter how great Ceedee Lamb is, no matter how great Micah Parsons is, no matter how great Dak Prescott has been at times in the regular season, particularly last year, are they going to win a Super Bowl as currently constructed? What, based on what? If you say yes, based on what? And I think if we did a poll on that, I'm not saying you should do one, but if we did, it would be unanimous. It would be one of the few unanimous polls in the history of WSN. But you know what else is unanimous? If you need a good workout, you go to Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness, fitness that fits your budget. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness.
Y'all better listen to Polo Freddy.
There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, fairly knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the Black Card Spa, featuring hydro massage, massage chairs, and total body enhancement, and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Got the legend, Lomas Brown. Tell me about these Detroit Lions. It's big expectations this year.
It really is. Look, my expectation is for us to be in New Orleans at the end of the year because that's where the Super Bowl is. So you get a half away from the Super Bowl, man. That taste, that hunger should be there. And I know Dan Campbell, that coaching staff, those guys in that locker room, they want it. So, man, Super Bowl or bust for the big fella.
Let's go.
Yeah. You know I'm fired up. Bam! Right there.
With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. FeldmanAuto.com. What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Yo, it's just something about Lomas Brown, yo, the energy. And what he was saying there, Super Bowl, the extra, he didn't hesitate. He said, bro, I'm about to book my hotel right now, New Orleans.
Oh, yes.
Because that's what he expects. And Lomas Brown joined the Fired Up crew. Let's rock.
Hey,
he's like, I'm fired up.
I know we say this all the time, but Lomas Brown, out of all of the people that I've met, and this is no disrespect to any of the other, kind of famous former athletes and people that I've met at these events, Lomas Brown is the nicest one.
Yes,
Just
sir.
a genuine, great dude. has never made me feel like anything less than his peer whenever we do interviews and stuff together, and that's a really special thing. So shout out Lomas Brown.
Shout out to Lomas, man.
Such a cool dude.
Yeah.
Just, it gave us his time, and it wasn't as if, hey, let me just do the press rounds. You could tell he genuinely loves the conversation.
Yep.
And he's happy to talk about not just the Lions, not just the city, but kind of banter with all of us, man.
Hey, on Big D yesterday, he came on for an interview. I asked him what game was he looking forward to calling the most, and he said the first one.
No.
He said,
ask it. I'm going to be Lomas. Ask the question, because you're not doing it justice.
All right.
He was sitting back like Jared Goff. Chilling like this. Ask him first.
Big Long, what game are you looking most forward to call this season?
The first one. The first one. I was like, Lomas, let's go.
He called out Kelly too, like, yeah, she been pillow talking back, tell him we booed her kids. Like, oh man, I love Lomas's response to that. Shout out Big Long, man.
Actually, side
he
question,
is the man.
Side question to that too. Since Kelly actually knows about #boo them kids, do you think she'll bring the kids when it comes to the game?
Better not.
She has to.
Yeah. She better not.
You know she's going to. She needs the narrative.
We are going to have 60,000+ people booing her children. Bring them if you want. That's on you.
Jeez, life of a celebrity's child.
She started it.
She did start it.
Nobody was ever booing her kids.
Big facts.
Can you imagine walking
Wanting
into
to
a
be a victim
PTA
so
meeting and Flannel's the teacher?
Hey, he started
Your
it.
kid started it.
It's on you, man.
But look, it is cut day officially.
Yes.
And the Lions have already began to take care of business. And we're going to start with the offensive cuts.
Yes.
Have there been any surprises on this list? So far, you got, tight end Shane Zylstra. Wide receiver, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Running back, Zonovan Knight. Wide receiver, Caden Davis. And there's some names here that you mentioned yesterday.
No, to be honest, the most shocking one to me was Shane Zylstra.
Bingo.
That was
right on the button.
That one kind of had me almost like fall out of my chair at that one. And I'm assuming that the Lions will carry 3 tight ends. So that means that opens up a spot for James Mitchell. And to me, Shane Zylstra outplayed James Mitchell in the preseason. I think Shane Zylstra offers you something more as a blocker. And to be honest, I would say Shane Zylstra, in both have had very limited playing time, has showed more in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that James Mitchell, man, sometimes talent trumps everything, because to me, I said it yesterday, I think he's even more talented than Brock Wright. He was somebody that the Lions were really excited about. They got him in the 5th round, but that was only because he was hurt. It just hasn't really worked for him just yet. And I just think Shane Zylstra would fit and be happier with a tight end 3 role than somebody like James Mitchell. It seemed like a match made in heaven having Zylstra as your tight end 3, but I'm not in the building, so I'm going to use the Dan Campbell credit on this one and say whatever he says, and especially when it comes to tight end 3, those are the dictionary definition of first world problems.
Yeah, nothing personal, but is he talented if he can't catch the ball? I'm just saying, like, this one I just did not understand. Shane Zylstra has been somebody that has outplayed James Mitchell in totality over his Lions career. Like, I just didn't really understand this move. I don't know why you're keeping James Mitchell at this point, but Shane Zylstra, it's a shame to see him go, but everybody else was pretty predictable. Caden Davis was kind of a surprise too. Maybe they'll bring him back in a practice squad capacity, but yeah, that's the big one, Shane Zylstra.
I actually, Donovan Peoples-Jones, obviously, after the first preseason game, I think most of us were pretty much still on, yeah, he's probably going to make it. After the end of the preseason, I think pretty much all of us were unanimous that he's got to go. And it's no disrespect to him. Yeah. It's just he didn't necessarily earn it. And boy, do I have a stat for you on Donovan Peoples-Jones for how poorly he actually performed in the preseason. Yeah, because a lot of people were, I think, doing a little bit too much quarterback blaming. And for the record, in a vacuum, I don't blame you. When you're catching a lot of your passes from Nate Sudfeld, I get it. I'm not mad at you. Do you know what Donovan Peoples-Jones's passer rating when targeted was?
Is it in the negative?
Close.
Oh.
Are you sitting down? 1.9.
Jeez.
1.9.
That's terrible.
I think you get a better passer rating if every ball thrown to you is incomplete. I think if a quarterback just throws the ball in the dirt every time,
right,
it's
like
a higher
50 or something.
It's a higher passer rating than that. So yeah, Donovan Peoples-Jones, as we always said, was one of the most maybe the most disappointing player in all of preseason for the Lions. I would say definitely the most for the Lions. And also, I want to parlay that a little bit with Caden Davis. And I'm not trying to accuse Donovan Peoples-Jones as being somebody who doesn't work hard and doesn't have the desire, because he did make it to the NFL. He had a good career at Michigan, and that's a very, very good accomplishment. He has an 800-yard season as a receiver in the NFL, no disrespect to that. But Caden Davis is one of those guys who is 1/20th as talented as Donovan Peoples-Jones. But he seemed like he was fighting for his life out there. He made way more big plays. He caught a touchdown in the Kansas City Chiefs game. He just doesn't have an NFL skill set. So if you could put Caden Davis's will, at least in this training camp and preseason, into Donovan Peoples-Jones's body, hell, you probably have a wide receiver 3. But with Donovan Peoples-Jones, it just didn't work out in Detroit. It just didn't.
Yeah, and you know what? When you look at some of the comments, like around social media as well, especially when we posted that graphic, you see people go like, "Oh man, I liked him. I wish it worked out." But so people are kind of already at that point with Donovan Peoples-Jones. We wanted him to work out. Obviously, hometown kid. Then you talk about the Michigan connection. You talk about some mild success in the NFL. Honestly, that if he could have maybe achieved 2/3 of that type of a seasonal success, it would have been gold for the Lions this season as that big body receiver, somebody that we knew we could rely on when we want in those types of opportunities or situations, or to at least be able to show the looks, and defenses have to be able to take those types of looks serious. Yeah. So it's disappointing from several different angles, because I do believe that the Lions are comfortable going into the season without that big body receiver. But imagine if that would have worked out and you had at least that option.
I mean, you disappointed in the story, but that's what Aiden Hutchinson is for. I mean, just being realistic, man. He is your Michigan athlete that got drafted by the hometown team. He'll be okay. But yeah, just DPJ. I mean, you can't get them all right, man. I mean, Brad Holmes is shooting 70% from the field, but I mean, you can't get them all right.
And I don't judge him on kicking the tires. You kicking the tires on some players like that, I'm fine.
Exactly.
Because,
right.
It's funny because with a guy like Alex Anzalone, when they made the decision that, hey, this is going to be a guy we're rolling with as our starting linebacker, where were a lot of us at that time? We were like, what is he doing, bro? There are options out there in free agency. There are options in the draft. Mm-hmm. And now we see exactly how that's turned out to this point. So, yeah, you're not going, like you said, you're not going to shoot 100%, but I'm okay with him kicking the tires on certain opportunities to see if we can get a little bit more out of these budget picks and signings.
No, I mean, I don't blame Brad Holmes for trying. I mean, he was a $2 million player this year, or he was going to be for the Lions had he made the team. It's just, I think with what you've seen out of him in preseason, with the reports of him in training camp, maybe last year's season in which he had 13 catches when he played basically a full year with the Browns and the Lions, that wasn't by accident. I know a lot of it was attributed to, hey, he's coming in new to the Lions system, but he didn't do jack dick in Cleveland either last year. And this was on the heels of an 800-yard season. It's just the fall off has been even bigger than the come up, unfortunately, for Donovan Peoples-Jones. And another stat on Donovan Peoples-Jones, last season his passer rating when targeted, the quarterback passer rating when they target Donovan Peoples-Jones was 39.4, which is also morbidly terrible. So maybe Donovan Peoples-Jones is just washed. It's a shame. He's still young and he's so talented, or at least he showed that in Cleveland it was linear improvement, and then it was just fall off Mount Everest almost immediately.
Denver Blair.
NFL is a cruel, cruel world.
It's a cruel world. Denver Blair says, should have kicked the tires with Higgins. Should have kicked the tires with 6XL gloves.
I mean, T. Higgins in a vacuum would help this team, that's for sure. You just have to pay him about 12 times more than Donovan Peoples-Jones. But hey, I wouldn't be mad at it. But
there were the rumors during the summer.
Yeah.
There were the rumors definitely during the summer, and it's like, you know what? This was honestly, I think, been my biggest question mark going into training camp and through preseason. It's consistently been the wide receiver room. At every other position group, they made some improvements. The linebacker core and the wide receivers were the position groups where they didn't go and make an improvement. I was comfortable with the linebackers because I do believe that Jack Campbell's going to take that step forward. But we have some proven guys there. What Jack Campbell already did was decent if Alexander Zaloni is still that dude. That's still the top linebacker for us. So I was good there. But with the wide receivers is where, we got Amon-Ra. But to your point, and even though I'm on victory lap like number 130 for training camp JMO, he's still unproven. I do take a lot of stock in what he did in that NFC championship game and towards the later end of the season of being something that shows, some chemistry that was starting to be built with Jared Goff. But, man, I do sit here after you're talking about the surety of Amon-Ra and the hope of Jameson Williams, hoping that everything else behind them comes together.
You know what? Let's talk more about those wide receivers that the Lions could potentially pick up in the next segment, because there's a few that have been floating around our Woodward Sports social media lately, and I think it's an interesting discussion, and I would love to have it. But first, tell us about Premier Pet.
Hey, I will. Give your pet the best. And you know where you do that? Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. They offer the same prices and all the conveniences of the big box and the online retailers with one major difference. They've been family and locally owned for over 30 plus years, and they carry over 60 brands of food, and they have nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside and home delivery. Give your pet the best at Premier Pet Supply, or visit them online, premierpetsupply.com.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
On game day, Detroit, you're waking up with Woodward and Maine, your source for all the insider information of the defending NFC North champion Detroit Lions. With insight from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star Matt Broder, get ready, Detroit, every game day, 8 to 9 a.m., Woodward and Maine. And then you got to watch the Lions pregame show. How could you not look at that picture and not want to watch Neil Rule and Sean Belegian? Come on, hot takes for sure. And it's sponsored by Sabbath Coffee and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Every game day, Neil Rule and Sean Belegian bring you the best Lions pregame show, Sunday 10 a.m. to noon on Woodward Sports, giving you all the up-to-date injury reports, fantasy sit-ins, starts, and Detroit Lions knowledge, delivering it as only Neil and Sean can. Join us for every home game live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. Your official guide to Lions game day on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Let's go. I can't wait for that. But Guardian Alarm, they're here to offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. It is 24/7 professional monitoring, so you can call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. It is technology that is backed by people. So your safety and security, it deserves technology. It's been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. All you got to do is call this number right here. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, that number is 1-800-STAY-OUT. And we are back. It's Wake Up Woodward, y'all. Appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. Got it. Almost everybody in the building. Shout out to our brother, Matthew Broder. We cannot wait to have you back in the building, bro. Get well soon. But hey, Super Bowl expectations all around for the Detroit Lions. And we're going to get more into this wide receiver talk, but just for the kicks of it, man, let's hear from Joy Bell real quick.
Oh, I got you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up with the Detroit Lions this year?
All right, man. It's up, man. I project, if you go back and look at my my shows when I was doing Big D Energy, this was the year I projected us to win the Super Bowl.
Let's go.
So I've been on par every year. Now we got to win it this year to make me right, make me a profit.
He's been on it.
He's been on it?
Yeah.
Joey Bell, y'all heard it here first, man.
He's been on it. Let's rock Detroit Lions to the Super Bowl. It's the year. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. FeldmanAuto.com. I'm telling y'all, man, it is so awesome to see former Detroit Lions players who played under different regimes look at this Detroit Lions team and say, you know what? This squad got it. Joy Bell played with like 3 or 4 really, really good coaches in his career, and he played in some good programs. He said that this regime right here is definitely one that rivals those good ones, and he would have loved to play for a Dan Campbell coach team.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that this regime is better than any regime that Joy Bell played for. But, you know, shout out to him. He's got reverence for the coaches and the players that he played with, and he was able to forge a really nice path in the NFL after being an undrafted player from Wayne State.
Shout out to Joy.
That's a Detroit sports fairy tale if you ever heard one. Joy Bell
Definitely is. And let's get back to this wide receiver talk. El Gato, 199 super chat. I think this is the perfect transition. He said, I've been telling y'all since the draft, we need one. You need more wide receivers. And I'm seeing more and more people in the chat. I want to know what people are thinking. What option or what route do you believe they need to go for this thing? Obviously, it's cut day. So there's going to be some options for Brad Holmes to be able to look at. And that's, to me, I'm assuming that with some of these cuts, maybe he has his eyes on somebody else.
Well, there was one guy who was recently cut from the Denver Broncos, and his name is Tim Patrick. And before I give you my thoughts on Tim Patrick, I just want to give you the lay of the land when it comes to him, because when you first describe him, sounds really, really good. This is a man who in his last 2 healthy seasons with the Broncos put up over 700 yards in both years, with Drew Lock as his starter in 2020 and Teddy Bridgewater as his starter the next year. I kind of gave something away there, but I will get to that later. The point is that he still put up numbers in an offense that was not great. He's 6'4", which is exactly what the Lions, at least in terms of a traditional offense, what they need, what they were hoping to get in Donovan Peoples-Jones, but they ultimately did not. He's a lifetime 14 yards per catch guy, which means he can stretch the field, but also 101 of his 143 career receptions have been for first downs, which means he can move the sticks as well, something that a certain Lions receiver who is no longer with them did well last year, actually was excellent at it. Additionally, in his last 2 healthy seasons, he caught 11 touchdown passes, which means he's also that got a big body red zone threat as well. However, the big thing with Tim Patrick is that his last healthy season, which I kind of gave away at the beginning, was hoping to tease till the end, was 2021. That means that man has not been on an NFL field in a regular season since 2021. He's coming off of an ACL in training camp of 2022 and an Achilles in training camp of 2023, which is absolutely devastating. That's a man who had a trajectory to be a damn good receiver in this league, and injuries have kind of betrayed him, which, if you're looking at Tim Patrick in terms of a signing that Brad Holmes could make, I can't help but be reminded a bit of Emmanuel Mosley, somebody coming off of 2 consecutive ACLs. And we all saw what happened to him this season. It's just bad luck. I'm not trying to pile on, but Emmanuel Mosley may be done as far as being a contributor in the NFL. It's just hard to come back from too many injuries. It's just, you know, Tim Patrick, if he can ever be what he was or even an approximation of that, might be what the Lions need. And he's very, very depreciated right now. Very depreciated.
Yeah.
You could get him for maybe even less than Donovan Peoples-Jones, given the injuries that he's come back from.
And I'm looking at the chat here. Charles McClain, I think Houston, I believe that's James Houston he's referring to, goes to the Texans for the wide receiver Mechie. When Reader got activated, I think Houston becomes expendable. Eric Allen, Tim Patrick got cut? He's got some serious skill. It's just all of those injuries he sustained in his career. He is 30. Let me see it. Rugby Tony, and this is an interesting one here because all of the expectations we had for this team, it was as currently constructed. He says, I say we don't need another receiver. We are pretty deep with little dudes that get open.
And
little dudes that get open.
No, and that's of course assuming that Isaiah Williams makes the 53-man roster. Then yeah, you definitely do have an abundance of little dudes who can get open. Particularly Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Khalif Raymond has put together a nice career with Detroit as well. I'm just saying that if you want that big body receiver, if that's something that the Detroit Lions value, which I'm not sure that they do, Tim Patrick might not be the worst option out there. Just because he's going to be cheap. And as I said before, when he was healthy, he put up numbers in a dog crap offense. He did. Mm-hmm. He was the second leading receiver on both of those teams. And I understand him coming to Detroit with a more talented offense. His targets are going to go down, but
we just need him situationally, though. It's like when you're talking about a player that defenses are going to be like, okay, if he's on the field, is he the big body target? Is he the one that they're going to? But then when a defense actually starts to, think about that, then are you forgetting about Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, or any of the other guys? It's almost as if you do have that player with all of the other weapons that you have, even if it's a guy that might be less heralded, he's going to be put in a great position to succeed because the defense cannot make the decision to go and shade or haze all of the attention towards that big body receiver who might be 3rd or 4th or 5th on a depth chart. When you got J-Mo running wild, Amon-Ra St. Brown, the dual-headed monsters in the backfield, Sam Laporta, and that's where, to me, I'm like, you know what? Okay, I do believe as currently constructed, we have what we need, but man, oh man, when you got an offensive mind like Ben Johnson, don't you want to give that man everything possible in that toolkit so that he can go out there and do anything that he wants to? He can mess with defenses, he can throw little wrinkles out there, or when you just need to throw it up to a big body receiver, maybe something on the goal line, then you can go ahead and get that done.
Sure, and yeah, having Ben Johnson as an offensive coordinator is a lot better than what they had in Denver. So I think that that Ben Johnson would be able to.
You don't say.
Yes, and of course the quarterback play and everything else about an NFL offense is better in Detroit than they had in Denver back in those days. Which means that I think that they would be able to maximize what they can get for Tim Patrick in terms of his value to this team. Do I think he's going to come in and be a 700-yard receiver? Absolutely not. But is he going to make some big plays? Sure. And is he someone else too? And I want to transition over from Tim Patrick to another guy. This is going to be the perfect segue. Would Tim Patrick be the type of receiver that could step in if, say, J-Mo has to go down for a few games, who's never played a full season, by the way, and that's not hate, that's just fact. If Amon-Ra St. Brown had to miss a game, which he did last season, Tim Patrick might be that guy. And the fact that we're even talking about Tim Patrick is probably related to the fact that the Lions did not re-sign Josh Reynolds. They let him walk to the Denver Broncos. And one of our social media guys, Travis, put out a tweet back in the day that might have been that he seems like a prophet right now. JB, you want to put that up?
Prophecy is unfolding.
This was Travis back in the day. Not going to lie, DPJ is a nice receiver, but I think a lot of you are taking what Josh Reynolds does for granted.
Yeah.
I've said it with the emergence of Isaiah Williams. I said it on a previous show. If this wide receiver room was Amon-Ra St. Brown, J-Mo, Josh Reynolds, Isaiah Williams, Khalif Raymond, and then Sam Laporta, I'd be like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. This is absolutely perfect. But Josh Reynolds is not here. And I do think the drops in the NFC Championship kind of did sully people to Josh Reynolds a little bit, because one of the things I was talking about with Tim Patrick of can he come in if one of the big, if J-Mo or Amon-Ra St. Brown is out and be a wide receiver too. Josh Reynolds did it last year at the beginning of the season. I know a lot of you guys remember, but I just need to remind you. In the game at Kansas City, 4 catches for 80 yards, no J-Mo. The game versus Seattle, no J-Mo again. 5 catches, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns. They lost but scored 31 points. The game at Green Bay, no J-Mo. 3 catches for 69 yards and a big win at Lambeau. In the game against the Panthers, no Amon-Ra St. Brown. 4 catches, 76 yards, which led the team and a touchdown. And in that playoff game against the Rams, I know people associate Josh Reynolds in his playoffs with the playoffs with his drops in San Francisco. But in that Rams game, in that first quarter, a first quarter in which the Lions scored touchdowns on both of their drives, in those 2 drives, a game in which Amon-Ra St. Brown was playing, Sam Laporta was playing, J-Mo was playing, Josh Reynolds was the best receiver on the field in that first quarter. 4 catches for 75 yards, and he had a touchdown against Tampa Bay. All I'm saying is that, and I've seen this in the chat, and I will give you this. If nobody gets hurt, if everybody plays the full season, am I confident the Lions can make a Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl as currently constructed? Yes. But I'd really like to have a Josh Reynolds right now, or I'd really like to have the potential of a Tim Patrick.
Yeah, it definitely would have bolstered this wide receiver room, and it would have given Jared Goff more weapons that he's already comfortable with, not weapons that we're exploring chemistry with. And that's, it's been the question. Josh Reynolds has been a guy that we realize, okay, this is a guy that when he's out there on the field, we can come to expect big third down conversions, getting first downs. He's the guy, like I would see the pass zip out, and I would just assume that's Amon-Ra. But nope, who's popping up is Josh Reynolds.
Chain mover.
That's what I'm saying. He became a guy that we were like, all right, this is what he is. I didn't know what to expect when he got to the Lions, but when him and Jared Goff really got rolling, it was like, okay, this guy is a difference maker. Whether he's a number one or a flasher, he wasn't any of that. But in terms of being a difference maker, that was Josh Reynolds. And I do believe this wide receiver room, it has some promise, and that is largely steeped on what Jameson Williams does.
Sure.
But they're definitely going to feel the Josh Reynolds not being there.
Well, and I got to read this comment from Eduardo O'Neill, because I think this is the maybe a fundamental difference in how we look at sports, because he says Reynolds is the reason why we didn't make the Super Bowl.
Y'all got to get over it, man.
Drops were bad. Those drops were bad.
Absolutely.
I waxed poetic about Josh Reynolds for the last few minutes, but I will say it again. Those drops were bad. I do not blame you if you can't forgive him for that. I don't. I really, really don't. However, do the Lions win the first playoff game against the Rams without Josh Reynolds? I told you the impact that he made on the Lions' first 2 scoring drives.
Right.
They scored more than half of their points on their first 2 drives, and Josh Reynolds was the best receiver in those drives.
And to further that point, this is what it really is. Josh Reynolds' drop, it was just it was what encompassed everything that happened in that game.
Yeah.
That's what it really was. That everything went to crap in that third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
The coaching decisions, the offensive and the defensive coordinators,
the Gibbs fumble, the bounce off the helmet,
everything blew up in the third quarter. It's just we remember that because sometimes we need something to be mad at, and I get that. But Josh Reynolds was not the target we needed to be mad at at all. Really, I don't know what you do. This is their first time in that type of a situation, and a rookie made a rookie mistake.
Mm-hmm.
A wide receiver who was sure-handed the entire year made a mistake. Jared Goff, who was our guy, no matter what I think about him, that third quarter in that spot for who we say Jared Goff is, your team went scoreless while you saw the other team running it up. And our defense didn't do anything to punch them in the mouth. You let Brock Purdy run all over you. It was, and this, I'm getting upset talking about it because we love our Lions. But if we want to be real, me personally, this is not on Josh Reynolds. This was on that team. And I'm telling you, if that team, without Josh Reynolds here, doesn't clean up the mess that we saw in that third quarter, I'm telling you guys, we're going to be sitting right back here talking about this crap all over again without a Josh Reynolds to put the target on.
Yeah, and I guess to put a bow on this, I've said it before. If you don't want anybody, if you're not interested in Tim Patrick, if you're okay with Josh Reynolds being gone, I'm not necessarily mad at you. But attrition does happen in the NFL. And we've seen Josh Reynolds both when that wide receiver room was fully healthy and when they needed him to step up in a bigger role. And we saw it in the regular season, in the playoffs. All Josh Reynolds did was make big catches, except in the NFC Championship game.
Right.
37 of his 40 catches in the regular season last year were either for first downs or touchdowns. And in the playoffs, 8 of 8 were either a first down or a touchdown. So all of them.
Mm-hmm.
He would be nice to have right now. That's all I'm saying. Is it going to be the reason why they don't achieve their goals? No, I don't necessarily think so. It's just, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about the fact that we're talking about a Tim Patrick, somebody who's missed the last couple seasons with injury. If I'm Brad Holmes, I'm kicking the tire on that, but I'd rather just have Josh Reynolds back. I would.
At this point, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a poll. It is cut day. Now obviously we know that Brad Holmes is going to be looking at that waiver wire, and I do trust his assessment. You're not going to bat 100, but man, I'm hoping that whoever he decides to kick the tires on, if they do, they're able to step in right away. And I don't believe they're going to have an impact like Josh Reynolds. You can't downplay the intangibles that made him so valuable on the field for the Detroit Lions. So it's going to be an interesting thing to see. I didn't know that the wide receiver conversation and even in the chat was going to be something, that got people going, but it really is, in my opinion, still the biggest question mark on this entire team.
And good thing that that's the biggest question mark instead of starting left tackle. Like, yes. I understand that we're kind of
depth pieces.
We're talking about first world problems, but let Jamison Williams miss a couple of games, which I'm not saying will happen, but what if he does? Then they're not first world problems anymore. They're
with my pinky up.
They're more of an insurance policy.
But look, that's why I put them up here on the back wall. That's why it was about Amon-Ra and J-Mo, because it's like, you know what? Those guys are the ones that got to go out there and do the work.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe in the work ethic of both of these guys. Everything that we've heard, everything that we've been able to see in all the reports is that J-Mo has been busting his tail and working and looks miles better than even last season.
Yep.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, we know what we're getting.
Yep.
Wide receiver room was on them.
I mean, all pro caliber season for Amon-Ra, all pro caliber season for Laporta, and 1,000 all-purpose yards or yards from scrimmage from Jamison Williams. That's what I've called for. Ooh. That's what I've continuously called for. And if that comes to fruition, this big body wide receiver as your wide receiver 3 or 4 might become moot. I'm just saying that it's one of the few holes that the Lions are perceived to have going into this year on a Super Bowl caliber team. Yep.
Hey, we might have to do another segment either this week or next week on the wide receivers.
I'm
take a little bit more deeper dive because we got cut day. If no moves happen, and it's gonna still room for conversation. If some moves happen, we got to review right away, man.
Yep.
But we got to get into the defensive cuts now for the Detroit Lions. Cut day here in the NFL. Stay tapped in. About to get into these defensive cuts. I think that there's a name on here that surprised a lot of people, and we also have some news. Minnesota is leaving tight end T.J. Hockenson on the PUP list, which means he is ineligible to be active during the first 4 games of the season per sources.
Oh, come on. See, JB, now you're giving the Kirby Joseph haters some ammunition there. We don't want ACL injuries. We don't.
You was wishing injuries last year. Don't act brand new.
I wasn't wishing. I was
you
saying what I
prayed
thought
on Derek Carr's downfall.
You remember the show?
All right, come on now. We was there. Don't play.
I'm gonna reenact.
He was out for a half. He played the next game.
He would act brand new. He would act brand new.
He was out for a half and he played the next game, and it was a direct correlation in the Lions winning. It's different.
Do better, Polo.
Polo Freddy in the building. Hey. Am I telling people about something awesome right now, JB?
I think you are, but we just started this poll, and it is not doing well for Tim Patrick. Just saying.
All right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We're going to talk
He's
about
injury prone, man.
Let's get back into it, man. The Detroit Lions talk. The defensive cuts here. Can't wait to get into it, man. Awesome is where a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. All you got to do, stop in, sit back, and relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented hairstylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar? Oh, never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. Hey, and we are back, man. It's Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. Shout out to our brother Broder. We cannot wait to have you back tomorrow, hopefully, man. Get well soon, my brother. But we're talking about the Detroit Lions and these defensive cuts. We got everybody else in the crew here. That dude Justin, intern Chase. We got KG, Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth. We got JB Smooth, Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. Vet of the squad, Fennel Sam. It's your boy Detroit Kool-Aid. But let's get into it, man. Was there with Mitchell Agude? Let's just get right into it.
Yeah.
That was a player that I saw a lot of fans talk about. We heard what Broder felt about him as well. Cut from the team yesterday.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Happy. And I'm, no, wait a minute.
Happy.
I just accuse people of wishing injuries. Now I'm wishing people getting cut. No, let me explain with this one. Mitchell Agude, he has been a bit of a preseason standout. And I'm okay admitting that, and watching him make some plays was certainly exciting. However, in these past couple of days, especially when I've seen the slander go a little bit too far, I'm just pro James Houston making this team in the worst way. And I think Mitchell Agude is somebody who was in the way, and if he made the roster, would not be as productive as James Houston, at least at rushing the quarterback. I think what Mitchell Agude represents that James Houston doesn't is somebody who's potentially a better all-around defensive player in terms of having a more versatile skill set. I think he's better against the run, for example, than James Houston. However, Mitchell Agude cannot sniff James Houston as a pass rusher, not even close. And Mitchell Agude has never played an NFL snap other than preseason. So I think the Lions, or at least I'm hoping the Lions, recognize that James Houston has a particular set of skills, a set of skills which is the most important skill set that you can have as a defensive player, period, that would make him valuable to this team, even if he's not an every down player. Because, and let me explain, the Lions were the #2 rush defense already last year. They were the #2 rush defense last year, and they're bringing back guys who were very, very good against the run. Their numbers and metrics are skewed to them being better run defenders in even other parts of their game, like a Josh Pascal, like a Jack Campbell, like a Brian Branch, like a Derek Barnes, and like a Kirby Joseph, just to name a few. And you bring in DJ Reader. Is he a good run defender? Absolutely he is. Marcus Davenport, when he has been good during his seasons, when he's been more healthy, he has been a stout run defender as well. And I haven't even mentioned Aiden Hutchinson or Alex Anzalone, who just are better at other aspects of their game, but are also very, very competent run defenders. You don't need a guy who is jack of all trades but master of none. You need a James Houston.
Need a gamer.
You need a James Houston, a man who in 2022 had 8 sacks in 7 games. I know he wasn't there last year. I know he didn't look great when he played, and I know he didn't look great as a Sam linebacker in preseason. But what Mitchell Agude represents to me is a philosophy that we don't need a guy who is probably less than mid at everything, but a slightly better run defender than James Houston. We need somebody who can get after the quarterback. Because as I said yesterday, if you don't have James Houston and Marcus Davenport has to miss multiple games, which history shows he will, I don't like the opposite edge rusher position at all. Yeah. I know Levi Onwuzurike can play a little edge, but I'd rather have him on the inside. I know we got Josh Paschal. I know we've got Matthew Betts or Isaac Ukwu, guys who have never played in the NFL, by the way. But I don't want to have the same problem as last year, which is why the Lions need to put James Houston on the 53-man roster and let Mitchell Agude go on the practice squad. That's why I'm happy about this move.
Yeah, and you know what? James Houston has been very, very, very polarizing person. Donovan Peoples-Jones was a story that people wanted to succeed. But when you're talking about James Houston, it's a guy that we've already seen succeed in a Detroit Lions uniform. And up to this point, we've believed that it's just injuries that he has to hurdle to be able to get back onto this field and get back into the backfield so he can be bringing down quarterbacks at an insane rate. What was it, 8 sacks in 8 games?
8 sacks in 7 games, 8 sacks and 92 pass rush snaps.
That's insane. Yeah. It's like, and I get it, he's had some injuries that will probably affect the types of angles that he's able to take at the quarterback. But when you're talking about a guy like a James Houston, when you're talking about the lack of really edge rusher help, how do you not have a guy like that on the roster? And when you saw Dan Campbell making his comments about him, it seemed like that's what he was deliberating. It was like, okay, I know that you guys might not have seen and that the preseason performance might not dictate that he should make the roster, but in terms of his full body of work, what we've seen him do in the field, what we see him do in practice, James Houston is a guy that we know, what he's going to be about. But he then doubled down, though, and came back around saying, but it's going to be a hard decision for Brad and myself. I'm hoping that, these are signs pointing towards James Houston being on this Week 1 roster.
And you know what's funny for me? I've had a bit of a journey myself on the James Houston train because, as you know, I work with Neil Rule a lot. And that man, I think, was, from the beginning, almost too bullish on his nut hugging of James Houston. That man has said more nice things about James Houston than Aiden Hutchinson and wasn't able to understand why people are a little skeptical of him. I at least gave you the reason why. The fact that the Lions had such a great year last year and James Houston was a complete non-factor because of his injuries. I get all of that. But then what I'm seeing is it go a little bit too far the other way from the chat. I'll say hoof-hearted. I'll read this comment. If Houston gets 1 sack a week, sounds good, right? But that's 1 defensive play a week out of 80 snaps. How is he helping on the other 70 snaps a game when he isn't sacking the QB? If James Houston gets 1 sack a week, I'm cool, bro.
Right,
I'm cool no matter what he does in other snaps.
In tandem and in a rotation, I am definitely cool with that.
He'd be the greatest DN ever.
Guys, this run defense is going to be fine. It's like there's no problem with that. We don't need somebody who can play the run well if they can't rush the passer. That's my point with all of this. James Houston, and think about this. Think about this too. This defensive line, if it's as currently constructed with Aleem, with DJ Reader, with Aiden Hutchinson, is James Houston going to face 1 double team the whole year?
Right.
They're going to be putting more of their attention on Aiden Hutchinson as they should. DJ Reader's gonna eat up some double teams. Aleem McNeil has already showed a proficiency in rushing the passer last season. James Houston has it made. James Houston has it made to wreck a game maybe 2 or 3 or 4 times a game with a sack, whether it's a hit, whether it's a pressure, whether it's a hurry. That's all I want from James Houston.
And you know why? Because of all of those names that you just talked about on that defensive line that he didn't get the luxury to play with during this preseason. When you're talking about putting a James Houston out there now to be able to just say, hey, based on all the skills and the talents that we know you have of just straightforward speed, being able to take some crazy angles to get underneath the blocks of the offensive linemen or get around them. It's like, hey, just do that. We're going to make sure that Aiden Hutchinson, Davenport, and Cole are doing their jobs. We just need you, when you get that one-on-one, that you blow past that guy. At worst, chase him into the welcoming arms of Aiden Hutchinson.
Sure. Make him throw the ball before he's ready to.
Right.
I mean, there's all kinds of ways and you can affect the game as a pass rusher without getting sacks. And who farted again? Because I like having this discussion. Point is, he can't be dog shit on the other snaps. He's not sacking the QB. That's real. See, I don't want James Houston to be on the field for 40, 50 snaps.
Exactly.
I think he is valuable enough as that specialist, as somebody that you put on 3rd and long snaps, maybe even 2nd and long snaps. I think that that's enough for him, especially when you consider, and I know Marcus Davenport has some injury concerns, but if you've got a healthy Marcus Davenport and you've got a healthy Josh Paschal and you've got James Houston, I think you could stagger those snaps in a way that it is advantageous for all of them. Because as I said before, Josh Paschal can play against the run. Marcus Davenport can play against the run. Marcus Davenport, when healthy, is a more well-rounded defensive end.
Yep.
Josh Paschal, I'm predicting a breakout year from. I really am, and I continue to be pretty bullish about that. So James Houston, it's not like it's going to – I don't think it's going to be like it was in 2022. I think he's going to be able to play less snaps. I don't think he's going to have 8 sacks in 7 games, but what if he even has 7 or 8 in 15 games? That's really good.
Great.
That's still
That's
really good.
That's all we need.
And we're talking
great.
about the usage.
Talking about him.
We're not talking about, the guy that James Houston was in his rookie year, where his usage was probably going to be higher than it's going to be this year. We're talking about controlling that usage and putting James Houston in situations where it's literally, this is the only job, this is what you do. Go and do that.
Yeah.
That is it. And I think that that's where you want James Houston. How, for the last year and a half, when they've been trying to do this experiment to see if he can be a little bit more versatile, we've all been saying, bro, just let him be a dog off the leash and get into that backfield. And that's what I'm hoping. Like I said, we didn't get to really see him play with the ones on this defensive line. So how do you really judge the preseason performance? That's why I do take a lot of stock in what Dan Campbell says when he talks of the training camp performance as well as the on-field performance of James Houston. He said, look, he's going up against all-pro tackles in practice every day. We see the work that he's doing. We trust what our eyes are seeing. We trust the body of work that James Houston's putting in. Because I saw, let me just make sure I bring it up, man. Just a Fan says, so all you Houston Glazers, why has DC publicly questioned Houston's production? He hasn't played much in the time he's played. He's made some pretty big impact.
I'm going to say he questioned his production.
Well, and that's the thing. And I heard the heavyweights say it last night because they did themselves a great segment on James Houston. You should go back and watch that one and then rewatch this one. How can... See, now we're Houston Glazers.
Yeah,
now we're Houston Glazers because we want him on the team over guys like Isaac Ukwu or a Mitchell Agude. We're Houston Glazers because we don't want him cut. We need him to produce more, except he actually did produce at a historic level in terms of sacks per pass rush snaps played in 2022.
Yep.
And it wasn't just like he had like 5. He had 8 in 7 games. It's just... This team
and Dan
needs James
Campbell
Houston.
is saying these comments. It's not like I'm the one up there at the podium saying, you know what? We see him against these all-pros, blah, blah, blah. The quotes that I'm giving you, that's from Dan Campbell talking about James Houston. And it would be different if we were sitting here talking about, okay, listen, this is the guy that we want to be that starter opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. We're just saying, listen, we got a tandem of guys here that also provide some depth. He does have some history in the versatile role they want him in. So in a pinch, you still have a guy like a James Houston who doesn't necessarily have to be learned up as much as maybe a younger player or a player from another system or something. It's like you already got this guy right now and a little bit of what you would probably call a contract year for James Houston.
Absolutely.
When you're talking about that to me is where I'm hoping it's like a can of pop that fell down the stairs.
Sure.
Shook up. Just open the bottle. Hey, it's James Houston time.
Well, and I don't know what everybody's solution is if they want James Houston on the practice squad. I don't.
Yeah.
And we also have to remember, and I get it, this guy had a bit of a down year last year, but John Kaminsky, he's going to be out for probably the year. They need all the help that they can get rushing the passer. And James Houston, we've seen it.
Did they forget last year? Do you remember all of the different Band-Aids and the best of them being Uncle Bruce? Your homie Uncle Bruce, Sam?
Let me just say this. Let me paint a picture for some Lions
Pablo
fans.
Freddy, Uncle Bruce Walker.
If, and I mean if, knock on wood, if Marcus Davenport has to miss some games due to injury, which history shows he will. If Josh Paschal has to miss some games due to injury, knock on wood, which history will show he will, we might be, and I say might, if there are any games in which they struggle rushing the passer, and this is also if James Houston is on the practice squad, if there are games in which they struggle rushing the passer, if there are games in which Aiden Hutchinson doesn't get a sack, which it's going to happen, but, you know, if you see him working his ass off and, like, the problem is just that there's no help, we're going to be clamoring for Romeo Okwara. For real. We're going to be clamoring for Romeo Okwara. Is that a position we want to be in?
Hell no.
No. And I get it. Romeo Okwara was better than I think people gave him credit for last year, but he's not somebody that we were like, oh man, we're going to miss him so much.
Him and his brother combined for like 3 sacks, bro.
I know. But he might be better than what they would have after Marcus Davenport, Josh Paschal, and James Houston. For real.
Yeah.
For real. Matthew Betts, big faith in Matthew Betts, Matthew Betts guy, big Isaac Uku guy, guys who have done nothing in the NFL. Zilch. Matthew Betts is going to be cut, and he's going to go back to Canada. That's what's going to happen.
And where I'm at is, where's the revisionist history at? Because I'm even seeing people in our chat right now who are like, nah, he's one-dimensional, James Houston, blah, 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 blah.
He's been that way, though.
When we got Davenport and Reader, we're everybody victory laughing like, oh my gosh, he's going to play with Aiden Hutchinson and James Houston's going to be healthy. But what has happened since we signed those guys and people were like, you know what? This defensive line unit might actually work. To now where people are like, to hell with James Houston.
Kool-Aid, you know what this is. It's what have you done for me lately?
Talk to me, man.
That's what the NFL is, man, unfortunately. So that's why I've been saying he does need to show it again. But the fact that people are like coming out of nowhere like, oh, he's one-dimensional. He's been this way. This is how they've used him the whole time. He's been a pass rush specialist. Yep. Like, I don't understand. And that's the biggest need for this team. Like Sam said, it's not the run game. We need pass rushers. So yeah, you cannot subtract at this point. James Houston needs to be on this team in order for this defense to be, successful, man.
Kool-Aid, you made a great point. When DJ Reader was signed, all these same fans were talking about, we got DJ Reader, we got Lee McNeil, we got Aiden Hutchinson, and we could have James Houston coming back. Oh my goodness! And now, I don't know what it is. Is it the training camp reports? Is it his poor performance at Sam linebacker in the preseason? Why is it all of a sudden that James Houston, and I get it, if you don't have faith in him to replicate what he did in 2022, if you think that he needs to show it again, I've got no problem with that.
But he don't even need to do that. That's the point.
And we're talking about him being cut or on the practice squad.
We're not talking about this guy eating up a chunk of the cap space, a chunk of the playing time. We're like, hey, bro, listen, you're probably on that opposite edge for this position. The best guy we have on the roster for this one down, maybe 2 or 3 downs in the game, maybe you get 10 snaps in the game. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what we're talking about here. No one is sitting here saying, hey, let's sign this guy and still snaps away from Aiden Hutchinson. It's like, this is a player that we're looking to be able to get as much value out of, have a depth piece, because we have to consider this. After what we saw last season, and with the fact that we know Davenport and Reader, they're going to be dealing with injuries. They're going to miss some games this year. I do not want to see us having to go through Alu and all of these different defensive ends and defensive linemen. It was just like, what are we doing? Like, it's like, I don't even know if I said the name right, because it's just like, all right, it's a new one this week. It's a new one. And then we finally like, yo, Bruce Irvin worked out, and then he had to like, yo, bro, I'm tired. I gotta go. Gotta head out right now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, so when I think about it from that perspective, I want the depth. I don't care if people think he's one-dimensional. I want the depth. I want to know that even if my guys just need a quick breather right now, James Houston can get in there. Yep. We know exactly what he's going to bring to the table. You can depend on that, man.
And if he didn't have the most valuable skill you can have as a defensive player, then we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Exactly.
It's a position of need. What are we talking about? That's the thing that's crazy to me. It's a position of need.
And the coaches at the podium, I think, are more so just trying to challenge him, just trying to get him in the right state of mind, because
that's a great point.
This is what they do, man. I don't think it's from a standpoint of questioning
you sound like you coached
him as a player
before, bro.
Yeah. Stop it, bro. I work with linebackers, man. I work with linebackers.
Come on, Kelvin Shepard.
Oh, really?
Apparently. So,
A little bit of breaking news that just broke from Jeremy Fowler. First set of cuts right now from the Lions. Cornerback Stephen Gilmore has been released.
Okay.
He's, with all due respect to Stephen Gilmore, he's never going to play a down of regular season football. He's just not good enough, and that's okay, by the way. Like, shout out to him for playing some preseason games and hopping along some practice squads, but he's just...
It's not surprising.
Maybe I don't want to write the obituary on his entire NFL career,
Yeah,
but he's
you
not
gotta go that far.
Yeah, but he's
But
not
it's not
good.
looking
I
good.
felt it in your soul.
He
You
was
was
a
about to go in.
UFA. He's a UFA.
Yeah.
That's what happens to UFAs.
Point blank. Period.
It's a cruel, cruel world.
Polo Freddy over here going through his Harvey Dent, man.
Right.
Should I eviscerate him or not?
Right.
And you know what, man? It's crazy too because I remember when everyone was like, "Yo, go get his brother Stephon Gilmore." Like, I saw even some like big articles on the national stage, like, but if the Lions do this, that could cost his brother the roster spot.
Yeah.
People are like, we don't care.
Oh no. And
ruthless, man.
I mean, Stephon is the better player.
I mean, yeah, I get it.
Like, come on,
And
what
I
are we
get
talking
it.
about here?
And I wish him nothing but bad things on the Vikings.
Oh, of
Clean
course.
bill of health. Clean bill of health, of course.
I don't know
but,
why at first I thought you was talking about Steven. I was like, why, man? He just got cut. Why are you
Stephon.
doing Stephon? I was like, what? You mean Stephon Gilmore?
That could be a sneaky and nice move for them. I just hope it doesn't work out.
So he got cut. I wish him nothing but the worst.
I'm not cool.
You just
I
said
wish
for
him
the
nothing
Vikings.
but
I
the
was like,
worst.
oh, okay.
Right.
Oh, man. Hey, do we got to pay some bills right now, man?
Yep, we got to head over to Swiss.
I was about to say insurance. This is that time where we need the Detroit Lions to go out there and get some insurance, maybe on the defensive line, maybe in that wide receiver room. But now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure that your current carrier is not slipping in anything extra.
Take that.
Especially not fees or raising those deductibles. What you got to do, call our guy Mark at Swiss Insurance today. That number 313-530-1698 or visit them online, SwissINS.com, and let them know that Woodward Sports sent you.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Did somebody say merch?
Merch.
Oh, look, head over to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab, dropping new designs every single week for you. But I got to tell you about the ones we got up here on screen. You got the Stoked Not Scared. You also got the hashtag Boo the Kids, Boo Them Children's right now. Kelly Stafford, we're just warning you. You might want to just leave them at the hotel or leave them at home. Just saying. Anyway, we also got the Woodward Tigers as well, too. We got everything you need to get you prepared for this upcoming season. All you got to do is head over to woodwardsports.com and click on that shop tab. Get swagged out.
Get swagged out, man. Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for kicking off today with the WUW Crew. Go ahead and satisfy that like button for Wake Up Woodward, y'all. It's a lot of people here in the chat family. And we appreciate you people here.
Oh, JB was coming with that, man. Come on now. You get prep that voice up, Kool-Aid.
Satisfy that like button.
Plug that cord in there right. Nice and slow. Make sure it's fully charged for the crew, man. We appreciate you.
Can I hijack? Sorry, Kool-Aid. Can I hijack for just a second?
Just keep singing.
I gotta call out Phil in the chat because you're making me not so happy right now.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
This
Go
man,
ahead.
He's about to turn into a flannel.
this man for his last like 8 or 9 posts in
From
the
a
chat
puddle to a flannel.
was just questioning James Houston and all of that and saying, you know, oh, he's lost a step. Oh, we could get somebody different than him. And you know what? You know what I read from him right here? Sudfeld does not deserve the hate. He was improving too.
What? What, Justin?
Just sit down. Just sit down and be
Flannel's about
quiet.
to blow a gasket, bro.
I swear.
We don't need any flannel freakouts
Uh-oh.
over Nate Sudfeld.
You're saying nice things about Sudfeld, but basically acting you want James Houston, like, you know, put out to pasture.
Right.
Goose.
Well, you know what? You know who refuses to be put out the pasture? The Detroit Tigers, man. 500 record right now. And you know what? For the longest, like during their winning streak and during this good baseball, I would check the standings, wild card standings. I would just run to the window, almost as if it was like Christmas was approaching and you're just running to see, yo, is it time to open up the presents? And there were still like 9 games back in the wild card. Well, hey, look, they've made some movement, man. After sweeping the White Sox, they are now 6.5 games back, bro, in the wild card. They've made like
So they back to where they was before.
they're back to where they were. And you know what? Looking at the division, they were like 13 games behind for the longest. Now they're just 9 games back in the division.
Have fun with
Detroit
that.
Tigers, brother.
No,
Have fun.
and for the record,
500 record, man.
Wake me up when it gets within 2 games. Wake me up.
oh my goodness, it's got to be within 2 games, KG.
I mean, what are we talking about here? I mean, it's as much as I love what the Tigers are doing right now. Don't get me wrong. I'm a
He
Tigers
has to
fan.
stay on brand.
But it's just like, come on, man. I don't see it, man.
I'll
I don't see
moderate.
it.
No,
He has
If
to
they
stay
do
on
it, it'll be
brand.
a miraculous feat. I just don't see it.
The Lions preseason game, he's already on record as saying.
I'm just saying.
That means more. And you know what the Tigers did? They were watching the show. They heard KG and they said, "Oh, word!"
But
we're gonna put up a couple more wins.
This is just more about the young players developing. I'm happy for that. I don't really care about the playoff race. I think it's too out of reach at this point. And I don't want to get fans, back on that train because it's
Too out of reach.
You don't want to get
that shit
fans
sailed,
hope?
man.
Here's the reason why I think you're being a little unfair, KG.
Okay,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the Tigers were in a position, if they want to play meaningful games in September, which is still on the table, by the way, whether you guys like it or not, you can't even just take 3 out of 4 from the White Sox. You have to sweep them. And they did. And they're going to need to do a lot more of that moving forward. I understand.
Look how desperate we are. We talk about a 31-win team.
Hey, Justin Fan said KG has checked out on the Tigers.
It's not that I checked out. I'm just looking at different shit. I'm not looking at the wild card race. That is dead. It's dead, people. I'm sorry.
We've been dead.
It's dead until it's not. Okay, I'll just say it like that. It's dead until it's not.
We have proven that this happens every couple weeks.
Oh my God.
We play bad.
I know.
Then we start
I'm
winning a
out
bunch
of
of
the cycle.
games.
Even Justin
And then
has chilled out.
I'm out of the cycle, man.
And now we're about to go on the losing streak.
Even Justin now.
And everyone's playoffs. We're 7 games out. No, by the time in 2 weeks we'll be 5 of 10. And we'll be back on the regular schedule program.
Justin, have you peaked the schedule? The next 3 are against the Angels, and the 3 after that are against the Red Sox, who are tail spinning right now.
We'll still find a way. We'll find a way.
And you know what? In order for me to still have this faith that they can play meaningful games in September, they got to go 5-1 out of their next 6.
They just got to win 66%.
Remember when
they can with this schedule? They can. They literally can.
Remember when we said that, and then they went 7-3 against the Dodgers and good teams like that, and then they played bad teams, and then they went back down to the median. Like, it's gonna happen again. It doesn't matter who we're playing.
Do you know what the difference is, though? And I've got the biggest difference of them all, because other breaking news: Javi Baez is out for the season.
Whip it out, lay it out there on the desk. You know what?
Yes. Javi Baez is out for the season.
The gift that keeps on giving,
And,
man.
That's a big
Show the love to the rest of them.
No, and as here's the thing: as much as I know this is going to inflate Neil Rule's ego to the point where it's just going to be uncontrollable, that rant on Javi Baez was a thing of beauty. It was epic. I've done Javi rants. Neil's done Javi rants. That was the best Javi rant I've ever heard in my entire life.
That was the one that got the job done.
My dog damn near cried, man. I'm sorry. Neil almost cried. He was so passionate.
But here's my point as to why it's more exciting moving forward. Because, they might not make the wild card. They might not play meaningful games. However, Are we going to be seeing Akil Baddoo on the field? No. Are we going to be seeing Javi Baez on the field? No. Are we going to be seeing Gio Urshela on the field? No.
This is the baseball that we wanted to see with the Detroit Tigers. And you're putting it together with wins.
It's about the young guys. Let's just look at last night again because it is a trend. Who got the RBI to start off the scoring? Colt Keith.
Yep.
Who got the game-tying home run? Parker Meadows. Who got the go-ahead RBI single? Jace Young. Who hit the 3-run homer that put the game out of reach? Spencer Torkelson. Who made his MLB debut last night? Ty Madden. Pitched well enough to win.
Make KG buy in.
What do you mean? I bought into the young talent. I'm not bought into the goddamn wild card race. I don't know what's so hard to understand about that.
And who got the save? The Mariano Rivera of non-closers.
And did they move closer to the wild card or further away?
They picked up 3 games in the last 3 days.
They back at the same spot they were 2 to 3 weeks ago.
And for the record, yes, I know that I've buried this team multiple times, but I apologized and moved on.
Well, when you gonna get off the train?
With new information, you're allowed to change your opinion, and I'm not trying to be a slappy.
Look how desperate we is.
Here's the problem. Not the problem.
Tigers.
The next 3 games are against the atrocious Angels. The 3 after that are against the Red Sox, who are torpedoing their season. They've got 3 against the Rockies. They've got 3 against the A's, and they've got 3 more against the White Sox. And then they've got 3 against the Tampa Bay Rays. I understand. In these next 3 against the Red Sox and the Angels, they're going to have to go 5-1. But they can do it. In those 12 against the A's, the Rockies, the Rays, and who am I forgetting? One other team that absolutely blows, White Sox. They'd have to go 10-2 in those 12, and play 500 baseball against the better teams. I'm just saying I wouldn't count this team out because this core. They're showing me something.
Right. It's actually looking like a core now.
It is looking like a core.
It is, man. And shout out to Randall Smalls, $10 super chat. He says boo-hoo. And I think this is more addressed at KG and that dude Justin. I don't want to hear you guys next month when we are close. KG
I've
and
been
Justin.
propping up the Tigers all motherfucking year.
No, you
what are you talking about?
Your problem is
I'm just saying I'm done with the wild card thing for right now. I don't understand that. I'm excited for the young talent. I'm excited that this team did not fold. Because let's be real. After the All-Star break, all of y'all thought they was going to fold. All of you. So I don't understand. I had to get my man's voice. All of you.
Hey, look, I kept coming on here sprinkling the Kool-Aid packet. It wasn't full on add water and stir yet, but I was saying, look,
I'm fired up about the Lions, not the Tigers.
This team, I've consistently said it, they refuse to let the wheels pop off, which in my opinion was going to always give them an opportunity to look like a formidable team. And that's what they look like. We all knew they were going to go through roller coasters, but when they made those changes, and they're still doing things, like the Javi Baez stuff, that are going to affect this team, in my opinion, in positive ways. Look how they celebrated last night with the news of Javi Baez. Look at that.
It's been you talking about the news of Javi Baez.
But I get y'all, man. Justin and KG, they're like that Grand Theft Auto meme. Like, oh, crap, here we go again.
No, man.
Like, you've seen this, huh?
Y'all in 2024, I'm in 2025 already. That's just what it is.
Hey,
man.
KG, I'm with you. I love the Tigers.
Thank you.
But you know what I am right now? Forward down the field, the Lions team that will not yield.
You know what? You can't watch anymore.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been.
All right.
I haven't been. I have better things to do.
Better things to do than watch our Detroit team, and that's fine. This is must-see TV right now with all of the young guys absolutely thriving. You've seen Parker Meadows. Parker Meadows now has his numbers to where he has an over 300 on-base percentage and over 700 OPS
crazy.
When he started the season at 0.96. Spencer Torkelson has been really, really good since he's been brought back, and those are the 2 that really torpedo things at the beginning because they both got sent to the minors.
Flannel, are you aware that there is football on every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Detroit
Monday,
sports.
starting in 2 days? I will not be watching the Tigers.
I get it, but
I have better things to do.
You're gonna miss the 85 win team that they're
All right. And guess who called them to win 84 games? Me! I've been here the whole time. Do you know how much fucking torment I done took from Neil Rule trying to prop up this damn team? No, I'm sick of y'all, man. I'm sick of it, man. Y'all not gonna do that to me.
Listen to
y'all not gonna do that to me.
The chat. KG said he doesn't believe in the youth's talent to make the wild card.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
You're not a fan.
Hey, there we go. Let's be.
Neil Rule sat up here and criticized me because I said Gio Urshela was a decent signing.
And he was.
I'm just saying, though. He
Huron
got
Marquez,
us to where we are now.
Go, KG,
It's
go.
like, man, y'all not going to do that to me of all people, man. I made Neil Rule change his win prediction from 74 to 79 games. That was me. I'm just saying, man. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, talk, Skip.
Go ahead.
Y'all not going to do that to me, bro.
Let me see this real quick.
Yeah,
Give me my motherfucking respect.
KMGK King says, KG
Great initials. My initials.
is right. Wait, so that was you?
Yeah, no, that was you.
He almost said, he said, yeah. Wait, no.
I got a burner account.
He said KG is right.
Shout out KMG King, man. Great initials.
And for the record, they're probably not going to make the wild card. I understand that. It's just the path is there. If they would have won their last if they would have swept the White Sox and gained no ground, we'd be having a different conversation. It would be all about the young guys.
Yeah.
It's just what we're seeing is a core developing. What we're seeing is even a heralded pitcher who really struggled in the minors make his debut last night and pitch not perfect, but certainly well enough for a win. We see the possibility of Casey Mize coming back. We see the possibility of Reese Olson coming back, although Casey Mize is a closer. And we see a lot of winnable games on this schedule. All I'm saying is that there's a chance that the Tigers play some meaningful games, and we don't all have to be the fun police.
What you're seeing, and I think that is something. Honestly, when looking at the Pistons, I thought we could believe in what we were seeing when they got Cade, Duran, Ivy, and all that. And now you see they moved on from that front office.
Yeah.
I think that it is vitally important with the positions that we hold. If you see something that is working out, to be able to say, you know what you're seeing is something worth believing in. This isn't just a flash in the pan, because we've seen that. We've seen those Tigers teams. This is something where they're actually making some moves that we've been asking them to make for years. Philosophies in terms of how you're going to put your talent together that we've been asking them to make for years. And we already know if Chris Ilitch is not going to spend or open up the bank, you want to know that Harris can do exactly what he did at this trade deadline. And that to me is worth staying tapped into. Not that you're saying not to. I want to make sure KG.
Yeah, y'all gonna give me my respect,
He's here for it. He's here for it. But shout out to the Tailgate Wins, as Nick Koloff did a lot of great work alongside Justin and others at the event yesterday. The Feldman Otto Children's Miracle Celebrity Invitational golf outing at the Detroit Golf Club. He says, "Let's go flannel. This team is fun, and I'm buying in. Yes. Beat the bad teams." LFG.
What are the Tigers supposed to do? Lose to the bad teams? They swept the White Sox. And I get it. The White Sox might end up being the worst team in MLB history. But that's why I say it was imperative that they didn't just beat them 3-1. They swept them.
Yeah.
The Angels are terrible. And I'm not even calling for them to necessarily sweep them. I'm calling for more 5-1 in your next 6, which would probably benefit you to sweep the Angels. And these are all tall tasks. It's just the pathway is there for them to at least put themselves in a situation where they finish with a record that in some seasons is good enough to make a wild card spot, and just hope that teams like the Twins and the Royals and hell, even the Guardians falter a little bit.
Yeah. Thanks, Rando. I appreciate the vote of confidence,
You see him in the chat.
Man.
Shout out to Rando Smalls, man.
I'm still hanging with the team, man. Like I said, the wild card. Wake me up when they get closer. But right now, I just don't believe in it.
Wake me up when overall, this is the right direction in your eyes.
Absolutely.
We've been calling. Tell the people
we've been calling for the youth movement the whole time. I was the first one on this network saying this was an evaluation year for the Tigers, man. I mean, come on. Let's just be real here.
But it doesn't have to be an evaluation year. That's always been my point, is that a lot of these players are going to do more this year than you think.
Fair.
Yes. All right.
Shout out to Shad. Tigers will go 15-0 and make the playoffs. I like that.
Well, Shad's
sprinkle the Kool-Aid. Sprinkle the Kool-Aid. I'm going to come here and LeBron it up with the Kool-Aid.
All right. Well, as much as I want to keep talking about this, I think we have to do a very short segment on Michigan. Because we have to talk about it. And I'm not trying to duck anything. But before we do that, I got to tell you about Les Stanford. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
Watch Party with the Heavyweights, sponsored by Sabbath Coffee. I need you guys to be tapped in with this year, man. If you remember the watch parties from last year, we did them in studio. A lot of you all were supporting. Make sure we had pizza for the events and everything, and going along with us on that ride, but digitally, virtually from home. This year, you can be a part of the watch party and the post game with us live. Where? At Hayes Social in Shelby Township. Join Woodward Sports and the Heavyweights for the biggest watch party in Metro Detroit. The big fellas go live just before kickoff. We'll catch all of their reactions live on Woodward Sports. Come eat, drink, and cheer on the brand new Lions. Show up and hang out with the guys or watch at home. And then right after the game, stay tapped in with the pregame show hosted by Stick and Anton. Sponsored by Sabbath Coffee as well. At the same place, man. So you guys already know it's going to be an all-day thing, man. We're getting it in. Supporting these Detroit Lions on the way to a Super Bowl. So stay tapped in. Watch party, post game. We got you covered.
And can't forget about the Boys and Girls Club.
Absolutely. Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan 3C Sports League offers youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Equipment, meals, and transportation included, all for a chance to play for a championship at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports.
Man, what a show. What a show, excuse me. Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for kicking off the day with the WUW Crew. Shout out to our brother Broder, man. Hope you are getting better. Hope you're feeling better today. Can't wait to have you back with the WUW Crew so we can be complete and whole once again. We can round out our 6-0. Shout out to the rest of the crew that's in the building. Intern Chase, that dude Justin, KG in the sound booth, JB Smooth in the TD booth, Flannel Sam. I'm sorry. What is it, Freddie Polo?
Yeah.
Freddie Polo.
Frederick Polo.
Frederick Polo?
Yes.
Frederick Polo. Hey. And it's your boy Detroit Kool-Aid. Hey, listen, a lot of Lions today. Some good stuff as it relates to the Detroit Tigers. But University of Michigan. And It's been all little news and rumors of this notice of allegations from the NCAA having been leaked or dropped. But Michigan has officially received the formal notice of allegations from the NCAA as it relates to the Counter Stallions and some other things going on with Michigan. As a Michigan fan, are you worried or concerned at all about any of this?
Here's what I'll say, because I think it's an answer that's a little bit different than some Michigan fans. I don't know what's in this because nobody does, because it hasn't been leaked. There have been reports that there have been a few minor changes, and there's been some reports that it's basically the same. My whole opinion on it all, and I know that I can't make it happen and that it's not possible for me to make it happen, but I just kind of want it to go away as quietly as possible. I think I would advise, and I get it, I'm not blaming you because in the beginning I was once there. I would advise some Michigan fans to kind of tone down the bravado just a little bit. I'm at the point now where If there's no postseason bans, if there's no vacating of wins, I'm doing an effing backflip at that point. Hell, I would probably even accept a minor postseason ban if there's no vacating of wins. And I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying that who's reporting is right and who's reporting is wrong. I'm just a football fan, and I want this to go away, and I just hope that everybody cooperates and it comes to a resolution soon. I would have liked for it to happen before the notice of allegations was sent to Michigan, but that's just not the case right now. So just go away quietly. Hopefully all parties can find a nice resolution. Whether that's possible or not, I don't know, but that's my hope.
I mean, at this point, we just got to live and die with whatever comes with this. I mean, I've been off that bandwagon for a while. You know, the Michigan fans that claim, you know, Counter Stallions is, you know, he was lone wolf and all that. We got to get past that, man. I mean, Michigan won the championship at the end of the day. And me personally, I do not think they have enough to go back and strip wins, strip a championship, or anything that they did over that 2 to 3 year stretch. So it is what it is at this point. Live and die with whatever the NCAA comes out with. Jim Harbaugh's a made man. He's already gone off to LA. I mean, eventually this will die down, but it is what it is at this point. Sharon Moore was involved. Counter Stallions was on payroll. Like, there's just certain things that we got to stop lying to ourselves about. It is what it is at this point. We are still champions until they try to strip it away, which I don't think they can.
Yeah, and that is ultimately what matters to me. If the NCAA championship is there, then I don't care about anything else realistically as it relates to this. It's just noise and it's just fodder. And for me personally, I think it's noise and fodder because University of Michigan football is just better this year than they ever thought they would be this year. So, hey, let's try and knock them off their kilt. In the past, I would be like, it's more conspiratorial. You know what I mean? But what we've seen, these stupid witch hunts over the years, and Michigan still punched you guys in the nuts. Yeah. I can't wait. When you see Jim Harbaugh stepping up on that stage as it relates to the trophy thing and like, bro, F you. That's when you know that there is so much more behind the scenes than any of us know. A whole lot more than, but we know that it's definitely bad blood. So if my guys are actually like, you know what, we're standing up, I'm standing up. Yeah. I'm not switching sides. I'm not hiding nowhere. It's dumb right now. And it's stupid. You know why? Because the players that played in those games against Michigan, especially in the college football playoffs, they're on record as saying, no, they beat us fair and square. Sure. The coaches, they're on record as saying they beat us fair and square. The NCAA, they're on record as saying this had nothing to do with the outcome of this college football national championship. What are we? It's all noise.
Exactly.
This is so stupid to me, man.
And it's just ignorant to say that Michigan has no ties to this all around the program, that people didn't know about it, and that they should be completely exonerated from their misdoings. I mean, this happened. It is reality, and we just have to face it. And just like I'm with Flannel, hopefully this just goes away and they don't strip the national title or anything like that. And as long as they don't do that, I'm all well and good. I just want to move past this, and hopefully Michigan can have as best of a season as possible.
Well, and for the record, at least for the last however many months, and you've never seen this from me on social media, I haven't been somebody who's making fun or mocking or having this whole like, oh, the hammer's coming bravado, because here's the thing. I would want Michigan to do it again. If that gets them a national championship, I would do it all over again 100%.
Right there with you, Flannel.
100,000%. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yep. Let's rock.
It's just, I want this to be, I want some Michigan fans to be a little bit more quiet. That's all. That's all I'm saying. And I don't blame you guys, but at the same time, I've just never been about that because I'm a football fan. I don't claim to know the rules. I don't claim to know what the NCAA is going to do. I'm with you guys. I don't think that they're going to lay a hammer down or anything like that.
Yeah, because when have they ever laid a hammer down? I mean, the NCAA's track record hasn't been good with these type of things. And clearly there was a beef there between Jim Harbaugh and the NCAA. So at this point, the NCAA's credibility in this whole thing, I could give a damn.
Yep.
But it is what it is.
Chuckle Cheese said, "Hell yeah, do it again."
Of course, they won. They won the national championship, and it was legitimate, and they did it fair and square, and they were the best team, 100%.
And that just seems to be a thing that these fan bases are holding on to, like the MSU fan bases and the Ohio State fans. They just want us to get off this high and mighty horse that some fans are on, and I'm telling you, this is not all Michigan fans. Not all Michigan fans play that high and mighty leaders and best card. It's just the real.
I think they're just mad that Michigan can still play the leaders and the best card, no matter if they actually believe it or not. That's what I really think makes them mad.
Yeah.
Is that they can just say it.
But what program in college goes around saying, "Hey, we're scumbags"? Like,
That's what I'm
we
saying.
cheat. Nobody does. So I don't
only ones
understand
that put themselves out there literally was Spartans. Tuck coming. They let us know in advance. I'm sorry, JB. I'm sorry. I need the comments,
come
bro.
on, man.
Hey, Tuck came and he left, so that's fine. That's all fair right there. You guys got to chill out and relax. Like, no wins are going to be vacated. No title is going to be stripped from you guys. But NCAA isn't going to do anything. Let's be real. If anything, you guys get a slap on the wrist, a few less scholarships, and maybe, your coach can't coach for 1 or 2 games. Big whoop. Like, nothing is going to happen.
Probably got to self-govern again.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And just for the record, that's a Sparty talking. That's not.
I'm dead serious. Nothing is going to happen. Let's be real. NCAA is what it is.
The NCAA have come down one time in history, and it's the death penalty when SMU got it, and they're still recovering from that to this day.
Yep.
Man.
Shout out to Chase.
This show's been dope, man. Shout out to Broder, too, man. He hit me up during the show, man. He was like, yo, you guys are crushing it. Hey,
shout out,
team,
Broder, man.
Hey, absolutely shout out to Broder, man. We hope that you get better soon. Cannot wait to have you back in here. Everybody on this squad contributes something, and so we're definitely missing you, Broder. But we got to get into what's cooking, what's trending with JB Smooth.
Broder, you better be here tomorrow.
Right. I ain't used to him missing multiple days. This shit don't feel right.
Get better.
Tomorrow's all right, hey y'all, stay tapped in. Wait.
What is this photo? What is this?
I thought it was,
Is that Connor Stallions up there? I'm sorry.
Why was he so close to his face?
Yeah, I don't,
Dog, I love it.
My bad, big dog.
No, you're good. You're good. That was funny, man. It was just fitting. Talking about Stallions, and then it's like the camera right there. But, yep, I wanted that one for the Michigan discussion because I remember that some of the rumors tipped off that this could be Ohio State's doings. And when nothing happens and they beat Ohio State this year, bye, Ryan Day.
I hope that's the case, but I'm not going to pretend to know stuff that I don't. That's all. That's
I hope
right.
Sure. All right, what bills we got to pay, man? I know we blew through some breaks.
Yeah, we blew through some breaks. Let's do Dispo and Soroki's.
Hey, absolutely.
What a pair.
Oh
yeah.
Do one and then do the other. I don't, but I know some in the room do. Justin, KG, and JB. But how would you like $10 of free products from Dispo Dispensary? Screenshot this image with the QR code and bring it into any Dispo location, and you'll get a free $10 to spend in store with a minimum purchase of $25. Visit Dispo Dispensary today or disposhops.com. Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
And after you hit Dispo, you got to hit up Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. They are taking over Michigan. They are known for their quality hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tenders, chicken sandwich, and you can't forget about the New York-style pizza. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit, doubling the number of restaurants this year alone. Soroki's also just had their grand opening at Madison Heights as well, so you got to check them out. But if you can't attend, always hit up one of their mega stations and order online at Sorokis.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? That's what Mark White & Associates is here to help you with. They could save you up to $5,000 on your new home when you work with Mark White & Associates. And if you need to find out more information on them, give their website a search at markwhitesales.com or give them a call at 248-290-8242. Mark White will get you right.
Big musket.
Yeah. Playing the Sam over here, big musket. Mel Tucker is little musket. But hey, welcome back to Wake Up Woodward, man. It's been a show. Thank you guys for staying tapped in with us this morning. The support, I'm telling you guys, man, we definitely appreciate it. It goes a long way, and it's helped to boost the energy and the morale of the squad this morning, especially with our guy, brother, who's not feeling well. Get better soon. But we got everybody else on the squad in the building, including our MVP, the SJB Smooth, man. Let's spark up, man. It's time to get this thing cooking. Word to this one.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Starting at technical director, JB Smooth.
Yeah. What's going on, fellas?
What up, dude?
Hey, I don't know if you guys noticed, NFL season is quickly approaching, so I think it's time that you guys start putting in your 2-week notice to all your ladies.
Yep, it's time.
It is time.
Leave me alone.
NFL season starts in exactly 2 weeks. From then on, I will be eternally
Emotionally unavailable.
On Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays.
Yep.
Thank you for an incredible summer 2024. I love that.
You doing it right. You doing it right.
I'm just saying, who can relate? Anybody?
No, for real. It is that time. I know my wife don't like me, doing all the yelling during the Lions games and stuff, but it's something she got to deal with, man.
Hey, listen, man, wifey already knows. And this year, we're trying to plan it out, correctly. Because when Lions season turns around, I'm looking around this room right now, especially at KG, JB, Flannel Sam, and myself, who were involved in Lions seasons in the past. It gets crazy here with coverage.
And the worst part about this whole thing is, and it's not really the worst part, but it just is who it is what it is. A lot of times I am a miserable SOB on Saturday and Sundays. I just am, depending on the outcomes of the game, although I was never miserable on a Saturday last year. Shout out Michigan's undefeated national championship.
Yeah.
However, and sometimes my wife doesn't love it, but
we need them, bro.
One thing that I have to say is that I'm never going to change. Sports and football just have a hold on me that it can make my life better, but it can also, ruin my life. Yeah. And I just go with the ebbs and flows.
You can't let it go.
I can't. There's nothing I can do.
NFL a hell of a drug.
It is.
It is. Hit my Rick James voice. NFL a hell of a drug.
It is. NFL? Nah. Man, NFL's a hell of a drug. Gosh, well, I got to go home and put on some Chappelle Show, and we need Saturday Night Vibes with JB Smooth. I'm looking at you.
We do need Saturday Night Vibes, and I can't complain, KG. NFL is one hell of a drug. But I got a question for you guys. When did they start getting rid of the bat boy in baseball games?
What?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, because I have no idea when this started happening, but apparently the Clearwater Thrashers debuted their new bat dog, Lily, and I don't think
Is this a part of the Mandela effect? They're going to tell us we've always had this.
No. I don't think their debut went over so well.
Bat dog. Is this Ace? Shout out to my DC people.
Forgets the bat completely.
Right.
Chases after a couple people.
Are the players running
gets
away?
better. It gets better.
That's awesome.
And it's time to take a squat.
Oh, right.
No way.
Damn.
That's clown.
And this is why we don't use dogs.
I am the captain now.
This is my field. I own that shit.
This is why dogs weren't in consideration for the job.
Wait, hold on. I got to see, dog. Somebody took off running, it looked like right in the beginning.
That dog just happy to be out in the field, bro.
I guess so. Like, what
he took off running, dog. He was like, nope, I'm not dealing with it. Not today.
One thing dogs love is open space. They just love to just run around and frolic and all that shit.
Hold on, Jebby. Start that over one more time. I'm just looking at the amount of people that were on the field, and then when the dog runs back to the right side, they're like all gone.
The dog has more production on the field than Javi Baez.
Yeah. Shout out Lily,
That's factual.
Shout out Lily.
Look, there's a couple people out there, man.
Look how she rounds the bases.
They gone.
And squat.
Oh my god.
Unbelievable.
It's her territory, bro.
Bat dog.
She claimed it.
Unbelievable.
Shout out the bat dog at Jimmy John's Field, by the way. Always does a good job.
They have a bat dog at Jimmy John's?
Yeah, they do.
Hey.
He's consistent.
Yep.
Bad dog.
So he does not take squats.
No. And shout out to the dog at the big house that does the frisbee catches or whatever. Gonna be seeing you soon.
He's got to bring it back to Michigan. When did this happen?
They got dogs. They got dogs in the field, you know.
Always got to bring it back to Michigan. But I got a question for you guys.
What up, dude?
LaShawn McCoy or Aaron Donald? Pick one.
Donald.
Right.
Kool-Aid.
Oh, Aaron Donald.
I just want to hear where this is going.
Yeah.
KG, what you think?
Yeah, come on, Aaron Donald, man. Where is this going?
With all due respect to LaShawn.
Oh, no,
McCoy,
Shady was a
Aaron
demon, Aaron
Donald.
Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald, 100%.
All right, well, these two raced the other day.
Oh,
I don't know if
God.
we put this on socials yet, but yeah.
Face. Wait, what?
I bet it was closer than you thought.
Oh,
Aaron Donald won.
Oh,
That's
Aaron
wild.
Donald won.
Dale.
That man is a defensive lineman. Let's not forget.
Dog.
That's crazy.
He jumped early.
Goodness.
This is like when when the homies get into it. You know, I can beat you at a race. No, you can't.
Yeah. Shady, you ain't prime no more.
Yeah, man.
Ooh, that's a tough watch.
About 2/3 up the way, it looked like Shady did something to his calf muscle, bro.
I mean, Shady been retired well longer than Aaron Donald has. So
Looks like he's maybe put on a couple of pounds
Yep.
too. Not trying to be
Exactly.
he's an NFL running
He's
back.
an analyst.
And you know
now.
Aaron Donald.
Shady wasn't wearing shoes, apparently.
Huh? Yeah,
Chase
he
just told me
wasn't.
Shady's not wearing shoes.
He wasn't
he's
wearing
not.
shoes either.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
Okay. But that's
Existential
still pretty
factors.
impressive, though.
Oh yeah, Aaron Donald's one of the greatest athletes to ever step foot on a football field.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, I will end what's trending with this. I just had to show you guys this. I want to introduce the latest Mamba Invitational Trophy that comes out when these high schoolers play.
Oh, that's sick.
How dope is
that
this
is
trophy?
dope.
That might be one of the coolest
That's
trophies
fire.
I've ever seen.
That is fire.
That's
Rest in peace, man.
Just introduced. This is the Mamba Invitational Trophy for high school boys and girls. So there it is. Kind of dope.
Yeah, it's really dope.
That's fire.
And that's it
fire.
for what's trending, you guys. Let's hop into some mailbag.
That's pretty fun. You want to tell the people about Feldman?
Absolutely. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Ooh, had to get that water.
Oh, yeah.
But it is now time for our Wake Up Woodward mailbag segment presented by Feldman Automotive. So guys, definitely go ahead and get those mailbag questions in, comments. If there's anything that you want to say about or to any of us about any of our points that we talked about, James Houston, DPJ, and so much more. The Detroit Tigers. You guys already know KG over there. He hates the Tigers, so
Not
Y'all
a
gonna
fan,
stop
not a
playing
fan,
with me.
not a fan.
Hey, I'd have had my coffee. Y'all gonna stop playing with me this morning, man. That's all I'm saying. Ain't my fault that May and June sank this team season. Hey,
That's fair.
It's
by
not
the
on
way.
me.
They've got a hell of a hole to climb out of. I'm not mad at you at all if you don't think they're going to make the wild card.
Ed O'Neill, though. Feldman mailbag. It's the trade deadline. What did he say? Hutch still needs help, and we don't have a wide receiver for. What moves do you make?
For some reason, I feel like an edge will be one that is better and more attractive to the Lions, will be more readily available than a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Like for example, last season, I mean, Montez Sweat and Chase Young, I mean, that was a big deal, those guys getting moved. If there's somebody like that this year, and there is some trouble at the opposite edge rusher position, if there's trouble with that and they're still winning, but that would put them over the top, maybe that's a move that this year Brad Holmes is willing to make.
Yep. Randall Smalls, mailbag. If Brad picks 2 to 3 guys off cut list, what positions do you want them to target? He put O-line, DL, secondary. Which ones do you guys think?
So does that mean getting cut or?
I would assume.
It's a tip.
I would assume like other teams cutting players. What position groups should Brad Holmes be?
Oh, okay.
Looking to shore up.
Yeah.
Probably O-line, D-line. Probably D-line for. I mean, secondary. no Emmanuel Mosley, but
the secondary would be fine.
Well, yeah, when your fourth safety is either C.J. Moore or Brandon Joseph, I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Big Dan Davis. He always comes through with the wrestling questions for JB and KG. He says, what's your thoughts on the WWE Next and TNA partnerships, and do y'all believe in Joe Hendry?
I do believe, but you can't say his name or else he'll appear. So
yeah.
So I'm gonna stay on saying his name for right now. But it's a long time coming, man. Like under the Vince regime, he just wanted to be a monopoly, a conglomerate. He didn't want WWE messing at all with any other wrestling promotions. He wanted to dominate the market. But now you're starting to see Triple H change that. It's a new day, a new philosophy of thinking, and of course, people like Tony Khan, AEW, been doing this stuff for a long time. But it's about time, man, because TNA is a strong brand in terms of like wrestling, and they have produced a lot of great talent over the years, man. That a lot of great talent that WWE has took to the next stratosphere. So it's about time.
No, they really are a strong brand, and I don't mind the crossover because you do get that mixture of fans as well too. Because there are some who are just heavy WWE slappies and some that were heavy TNA slappies. But as soon as they cross over and mix, just like, oh, you know, I like this product as well too. And then you start to kind of actually fall in love with some of the wrestlers that they have too. So I don't mind it. Like, I would enjoy this a lot more if a lot of more companies did it as well too. So.
They should have did it soon. Can you imagine if they did mid-2000s TNA during that period of WWE?
That would have been wild.
Nuts, bro. Oh my God. TNA in the mid-2000s was some of the best wrestling around, period.
And, wait, where is it at here? I just had one. Here we go. Mailbag from Alan W. Now that DPJ has been cut, in hindsight, do you wish Brad took a wide receiver with our second or third round pick? You guys have any remorse over that?
I don't. Not really. Not at the moment, man. Let's let these picks play out. Like I said, we already knew Manu was going to be a project. And technically on paper, the Lions do have enough. Like, yes,
there you go.
We technically need a third, fourth receiver. Well, not even a third, but a fourth receiver. I mean, that's semantics at this point. They can get by with what they have. They are a well-oiled machine in terms of offense and what Ben Johnson can do. Even with small receivers, we don't necessarily need the big body. We can get by without it. But I understand if, you know, some fans do want that. But
sure, and I would tend to agree with most of what you said. I philosophically, and I'm not questioning Brad Holmes, and I know intern Chase has put in the chat about Jordan Mailata being drafted by the Eagles when they were in a Super Bowl window, and he was a guy who played in, I think, New Zealand and wasn't ready to contribute right away. There is precedent for the Manu thing working because the Mailata thing has worked swimmingly.
Yeah.
However, when you're in the middle of a Super Bowl window, I don't love the project pick the year after another project picked in a Broderick Barton. But I hope Manu works out, and I hope that the Lions don't suffer too many injuries or find somebody else.
But true, but we also are talking about maybe a third round receiver. I mean, that's not necessarily somebody that's going to come blow the doors off either. You know, like there might have been a learning curve there. You know, it might have been some struggles there. So while I do understand, let's just temper it a little bit.
But it kind of leads a lot of credence into what I've been saying. We as fans don't know how to act. These Detroit Lions have Super Bowl expectations. It's the first time as fans that we've seen this.
Yeah.
We've seen from the outside how other organizations can string together that success and what we think we perceive of their fans. But you know what? Weren't just a month or two ago, we were all saying, yeah, this team has exactly what it needs to make the Super Bowl, to win the division, to do to make some damage in these playoffs. Now all of a sudden, I don't know what's changed. Like the revisionist history with James Houston, we were just excited when DJ Reader was signed. Now all of a sudden, we're getting closer and closer to the season, and people, in large part, and we see it in our chats, we see it in the comments, are worried about things that just a month ago they were saying weren't going to be necessarily concerns. We were already constructed as is to go out there and win. Now all of a sudden, James Houston being on the team is going to do something wrong, and DPJ not being on the team is going to be something wrong. Yeah. I don't get it.
Maybe the DPJ being so bad,
it wasn't supposed to happen like that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was a little bit jarring, but I do think we just need the damn season to start, because are we getting into a little bit of paralysis by analysis?
Yes.
Yeah,
and there's still time. They can still add to this team. There's also still the trade deadline. If you're in a Super Bowl window, you would want a more veteran, experienced receiver anyway. So I'm not regretting the draft pick, but it's still time for them to add to this team.
Yep. Man, let me see here. I'm going to tee up one more, and we'll call that one a show. Let's see here. Steve Lehman, mailbag. Would you rather the NFL go back to releasing players earlier than doing it in 2 days as opposed to how it used to be? Or would you like for them to expand the number of players from 53?
I'm cool with how it is now.
Yeah.
I don't have any qualms. Hey, tomorrow will be a fun show because the 53-man roster will be set.
Oh, yeah. And there'll be more waiver wire players to look at. I can't wait.
Tampa Bay is actually the first team to complete and have a full 53-man roster before the deadline.
Ooh, just to get pummeled by the Detroit Lions. Take that for being first.
Right.
First. Teacher's pet. I don't like it. Is that a show, boys?
Yes.
I think so.
Hey, that's a show. Shout out to our brother Matthew Butter. We miss you, man. Get better soon. We cannot wait to have you back with the WUW Crew. But it's been a great show, especially because of the chat family. You guys were engaging the entire time, stuck around with us. We had some great numbers. If you haven't gotten the opportunity to, please hit that like button. It helps us tremendously as a crew and as a network. And please make sure you guys are staying tapped in with all of Woodward Sports. Make sure you're supporting all the shows. Big D Energies After Hours. Ermanni Edwards with Mass. Finish the day off with the heavyweights. Stay plugged in as well with socials. Got a lot of good content, especially a lot of different celebrities and athletes that we've been able to interview this entire summer, especially over the remote. So, hey, let's break this thing down. We got intern Chase in the building. Thank you for everything that you do for us, brother. That dude, Justin, wearing the Stallions hoodie. I've seen people all show talking about it, man. Great job, man.
Thank you. And I'm gonna miss you guys when I go to school tomorrow. So I'm just enjoying my last.
You're with us tomorrow, right?
I am with you guys tomorrow,
Okay, cool.
but tomorrow is my last day, so I'm gonna miss all you guys.
I ain't ready for no goodbyes.
Save
all that for tomorrow, man.
All right, I'll say that for tomorrow.
Don't let us down. Tomorrow's a celebration. Definitely gonna miss you, man, in the flesh. But you're still gonna make it down here for watch parties. He's still gonna be grinding away. He's made changes in his own personal and his educational life to make sure that he can pursue this thing to the fullest. And personally, as head of socials, you definitely know I appreciate you, brother. So it's gonna be sad not having you here every single day. But in terms of knowing that your future here with us is looking like it's as secure as ever, I'm glad to have you on this team and a part of the WUW Crew, bro.
I'm happy to be around. Thank you, Kool-Aid. I appreciate it.
Always, bro. Do great work, man. Shout out to... Wait.
Yeah, get right, bro. Get right. Tighten up around this bitch.
The great, the awesome, the stupendous.
Thank you.
I'm talking about some dogs that do their work, man. These guys show up. And you know what? It's all wins, man. Shout out to this illustrious, man. I had to throw that word in there today.
Thank you. KG47, baby.
Hey,
Let's get it.
let's rock, man. In the sound booth, you got Detroit's #1 draft pick. That is KG. Black Hollywood.
Tigers fan too. Don't forget it. Don't you ever fucking forget it, man. But shout out to everybody today. Great show, man. We held a great number in the chat. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us, man. Stay tuned in. We got more great coverage coming up, and this Lions season is fast approaching.
I see some people are sad. Guys, listen, he's going to be doing a lot of Red Wing stuff for us. He's still going to be tapped into the show. We're going to still make sure we get time where you can V-mix into the show. I'm telling you, this is a guy that made a great impression on us in a very short time, and I'm glad. I got back into the media industry because I wanted to be able to create certain relationships, and it's like as I look around at the people here, I know we've done that, even people that aren't here. That's what this is about, and so I'm glad that you were here, bro. Keep your head up.
Hey, thank you.
Shout out to Woodward Sports' MVP in the 30th booth on a Tuesday. That is J.B. Smooth.
Hey. Great show, fellas. Shout out to everyone in the chat, new and old chat family members as well, too.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you guys tapping in with us. Justin, this isn't goodbye. I know last day might be tomorrow, but still, you got to invite us up there for some parties up at Kalamazoo, man.
WUW Crew boots on the ground.
that could be good.
Justin, look at that smile. That's what I like to see.
I love that. That'd be awesome.
Shout out to the vet of the network that is Flannel Sam, man. You talking about a guy who's held down this position for so long, and you're setting standards here.
Hey.
Great show, man.
Oh, this was This is a lot of fun. This was one of the most fun shows that I've had in a while, and I feel like it was one of our better ones we ever had. Just my personal opinion. Hopefully you guys in the chat agree. Hopefully you in the room agree.
Aww,
and
it was dope, man.
Hey, and Justin, thank you for what you've done.
Stop all
and
that
what you will
sentimental
continue to do.
Stop all that sentimental shit. He ain't leaving till tomorrow.
I know.
Hey, it's your boy Brandon Dan K, Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Appreciate you guys so much for supporting us. Let's have a Rockin' Lions season, man. Tap back in with us tomorrow at 8. And after this show, make sure that you guys are watching Big The Energy. It's been Wake Up Woodward. We love you, brother. Can't wait to see you. Have a day, people.